friend.
How'd you meet Malcolm? I never heard the story.
Malcolm Ingram's a friend of mine. He's made a couple movies. He made a flick called Drawing Flies many years ago. He made a flick called Taillights Fade. And then in recent times, he's become more of a documentarian. He made this doc a couple years ago that I produced called Small Town Gay Bar, which is about this gay bar in Meridian, Mississippi, in the middle of nowhere and stuff. And kind of about like how we all build our own families beyond our true families and shit. And then right now he's got a movie out called Bear Nation. And Bear Nation is a documentary about the bear movement within the gay community. And for those of you that don't know, bears look like me. I would be a bear. So would Malcolm. Malcolm's kind of a big dude like me too. Bears are essentially dudes who are as big as me, sometimes bigger, hairier, strong-looking truck driver types who fuck dudes who aren't as big as them. Essentially, if you're a bear, you got yourself a boyfriend, and your boyfriend's called a cub. And in the, and there are different, like Malcolm was educating me on this. Malcolm has always been one of my dearest friends, but he's also, once he came out of the closet, he became something of my gay avatar as well.
Cum buns.
Very much. Like basically I sit in something and put Malcolm on and wear him in the gay community, and he walks out there and sucks cock, and I get the benefit of it somehow. But he's been the dude that basically, like, he would always tell me what was going on in the gay community, but he was the last dude in the world that you would imagine was gay. He's a friend of ours, been around all the time, the dude that we constantly go like, you're gay, Malcolm. Malcolm, you're so gay. You love cock. You love fucking dick. You put it in your mouth, in your butt. You love dick. And he did. And we didn't know it. And then we got weird. We got scared. We're like, did we make him gay? By constantly telling him how much he loved it. And one day he's like, oh, fine. But Malcolm assured us he'd been gay his whole life. And then one day, as most gay people, just came to grips with it, decided, I'm going to come out and fucking be me and blah, blah, blah. But when Malcolm came out, he found a specialized community within the gay community that catered to dudes of his size and shit. And he was always trying to sell me on it as well, because, I'm fat too. And he's just like, oh, this bear movement, you're missing out, dude. You don't understand, man. You and me walk into a bear bar, we're Marilyn Monroe. And I was like, right on. And I was like, who do you date? What are the guys like? He's like, it's dudes who worship fat. He's going, you've never had that before, have you? And I was like, no, most people kind of revile it and shit. He's like, these cats don't. Fat is a big part of it. Fat is a part of the attraction. It's like your personality and the fat is the very next thing on the list and shit like that. And they love it, man. They incorporate it into the sex act as well. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, man, when they're sucking my dick, I pick up my belly and rub their heads with it. I said, get the fuck out of here, man. He goes, oh, they love it. They love wearing the flabber hat. And me and Malcolm have prodigious guts and shit, so I'm just like, Jesus, if Malcolm puts a gun on somebody's head, that gut splits in two like earmuffs around that person's ear. And he's like, they fucking absolutely love it, man. It makes them want more and more, and they go crazy. He's like, and then just when I'm about to come, big fucking crescendo, and they love this so much. I said, what do you do? And he's like, just when I'm about to come, I pick up my gut really high, drop it on their fucking head. And I was like, I'm glad you found love, Malcolm. But he was always trying to convince me to go for it. He's just like, dude, in the gay community, you'd really fucking clean up and shit, man. You should think about it. And I was just like, I don't know. He's like, the thing is, he's going, I bet you never fucking take your shirt off, during sex with your wife. And I was like, dude, I don't take my shirt off in the shower by myself. I come out of the shower with a soaking wet fucking shirt and then quick put on the robe before anybody sees my shame and shit. And he's like, well, in this world, you wouldn't have to do that. You wouldn't have to hide from the fat. You'd embrace the fat. They want to talk about the fat. They want you to say, feel my loving lard and shit like that. So he's been around for a while. He's been my friend. I met him at the Toronto Film Festival and shit like that. Many years ago, 1994 with Clerks. And we've been hanging out ever since. And he's gone through, like I said, many changes and shit. Wound up being this gay dude who you would never know was gay because he's so fucking butch. But he's the kind of guy that's like, how about I suck your fucking dick? And you're like, all right, man, all right. You just kind of give it to him out of fear more than anything else. But he's great. He's absolutely one of my dearest, if not my best friend, and I love him to death. And he's talented. That movie, Bear Nation, is really worth seeing. The bear community is kind of fucking fascinating. They have all these, like, if you're a bear here in America, you're a bear and shit. If you're a bear in Alaska, you're called a polar bear. If you're a bear over in Japan or something, you're called a panda bear. It's cute. And Mosier was like, what am I? You know, because Mosier's very thin. And Malcolm was like, you're an otter. And Mosier's like, really? He's like, yeah, you're very slick in the water and you're thin and whatnot. So we started calling Scotter the hotter otter. And he likes it very much. But anyway, yeah, Malcolm, great friend of mine. Love him to death.
Thanks for keeping Smodcast free. It's real Gretzky of you.
Thank you, sir. I try. Thanks, man. I always feel bad at a moment like that. A bunch of people in the audience going, why aren't we talking about comic books anymore? He just said some fat dude got his dick sucked. Well, he did. How are you, man?
I am getting there. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. I love being here. This is kind of the beginning of my calendar year and shit, so I love doing the Hall H talk.
This is the best day of the year. But if I may first say, congratulations again to a happy couple. It's beautiful, man. And I want to be in Morgan Spurlock's movie, too, so. Anyway, and I hate to get
Do you know how to get into Morgan Spurlock's movie? Be the guy that's like, congratulations, happy couple. That would totally make the movie, man. They'd be like, anything can happen at Comic-Con.
Including stabbings.
Totally.
Which actually...
This is the room to do it in, man. Seriously, this is the Hall H is just for Hall Hell. You come in, you take your life in your own hands. They're like, no, it's not Hall Hell, it's Hall Harm.
I hate to get all Chinese on you, too, but you actually draw circles with a compass and not a protractor, so...
Oh, is that right?
I just had to throw that out there. But anyway, my question...
Yes.
Something that I've noticed, because as you know, I'm a huge fan, is that you are an incredibly nice person. Just very even-handed. You're not really all about bashing anybody's work. You try to share a kind word whenever possible. You really just try to be as nice as possible to all of your colleagues in the Hollywood community. At the same time, no one gives discredit where discredit needs to be given better than you. We've seen it in the commentaries and Evening with Kevin Smith. I think everyone here loves that John Peters story. Yeah, everyone loves hearing that. With that in mind, I want to tell you that at another panel earlier this week, Danny Elfman shared a very interesting story where someone's asking him about what was the hardest movie he worked on. Without blinking, he said, it was Batman, because John Peters did not want me there. I had to leave the project for 6 or 8 weeks because the producer wanted Michael Jackson to score Batman's theme, Prince to score the Joker's theme, and Michael Bolton to score the love theme for Batman. Would you like to comment and or maybe add to the song of John Peters?
No, not really. But I was kind of interested to know that. I was like, what else did Danny Elfman say? You're like, well, Danny Elfman also said it feels real good when someone's blowing you and they put a finger in your ass. I'm like, I agree with that. Did he give any other inside dish? I'd heard about the Michael Jackson thing. At one point, they were pursuing Michael Jackson to do a Batman song.
He said that when he finally came back and he got to play the theme hero for Batman, John Peters jumped out of his seat and started conducting, and that's when he knew that him and Tim Burton were home free.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Can I ask another question?
You're going to ask me a question?
I'm kidding. It felt like I did because you gave me a really long answer like I would give you. But it was good. I liked it. I thought that shit was interesting. They didn't, but fuck them. I'm going to be riding home with the wife tonight going, did you know that fucking Prince and Michael Jackson almost collaborated on Batman? I learned it from my man in Hall H. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you for the kind words, too.